So this morning I don't really have any just absolute specific topic that's on my mind, but one that's kind of bouncing around a lot. So I thought I'd just talk with you a little bit, is this whole idea of our comfort zones and being comfortable. And I've actually written a little post in the past about that, as parents, a lot of times we try and smooth out the lives and the challenges and those kind of things for our kids. But every study shows that it's really through overcoming adversity and difficulties that our kids grow and become the kind of people that we want them to become, and that's resilient and able to withstand the challenges that life brings them. So that kind of leads to the question, why do we do that? Well, I think it's because, we just have the sense that that's our responsibility as a parent, is to make their lives easier. But, I think we need to rethink that, that our job isn't necessarily to make our kids' lives easier, it's to make their lives better in some way. And as we look at the statistics and trends and those kind of things, unless they're cryptocurrency people, more than likely they're not going to be better than their parents financially. I know that's been true for, my generation. I think Gen X, we were the first ones that were predicted to not automatically do better than our parents financially. Millennials would say that that's absolutely true for them. With all they have going on, they've had to overcome all kinds of adversities. And so as we look at our kids and raising our kids, we need to think about that, is how do we keep our kids to be, help our kids to be resilient. Now, let me say, I'm not advocating for making their lives intentionally difficult. Life throws enough difficulties at us, just on its own. But what we really need to teach our kids how to do is how to deal with challenges when they come up and how to walk through those challenges. I was watching a really interesting interview with, I believe it was Kevin Hart and Will Smith, and they were kind of talking about the same thing, that they both grew up in very difficult situations, circumstances, and that they realized that overcoming those adversities, overcoming all those challenges, was a big part of what pushed them to be successful. And that now as parents, they're catching themselves taking down all the obstacles for their kids, providing all these things they can, because it's on one hand, they don't want their kids to have to suffer the way that they did. But at the same point, it was that suffering for them that produced the results. So all that leads to this larger conversation around being comfortable and comfort. I need to come back and trim that bush. And comfort zones. And I've noticed that's been true in my own life. There are times, especially after I go through a really difficult time, and I've had a couple of those, that my instinct is to pull back and to try and get into my comfort zone and to not do things that push me or challenge me just because I'm kind of tired and beat up. Some of that's because I'm an introvert. I think extroverts may have a little bit different take on that, but I kind of pull back in, isolate myself a little bit, withdraw from stuff. But the longer I stay there and the more I am comfortable, the less I accomplish, the less successful I am, the less I hit the targets and goals that I want in my life. It's there's this direct correlation between me being willing to be uncomfortable and to push myself out of my comfort zone and my ability to achieve my goals and the things that I want to do. So that's everything from, having to learn new tech, to learning new business concepts, to putting myself, again, as an introvert, putting myself in very outgoing social situations that take a lot of energy. I mean, like yesterday, I led a seminar at a nonprofit conference, so I have to have a lot of energy to be up front and to do all the teaching, that kind of stuff. And then after that, there's the walking around and talking to people, and then the social aspect and all that kind of stuff, and that's way out of my comfort zone. But if I want to achieve the things I want to in my life and do the things I want to do, I got to learn how to do that. I got to be willing to do that, which I am. It takes me a little while to recover. But if I was protecting myself and simply doing what kept me in my comfort zone, I'd miss out on the things. I mean, ultimately, I'd just end up sitting on the sofa watching my favorite TV shows, binge watching Netflix, and eating either Thin Mints, vanilla wafers, or shortbread cookies until I was too big to get off the sofa. That'd be a good conversation, which of those three would it be? But probably one of those three over and over again. As long as I had a glass of milk, I could do the, anyway, that's a whole nother topic. So, be willing to get out of our comfort zone. You know, if it's you, how do you push yourself and do things? I remember reading a long time ago that I forget, I think it was Ms. Eisenhower, the president's wife, knew that she was going to be in for a difficult time as the president's wife. And so she just started taking ice cold showers every morning to toughen her up. I remember thinking that was kind of a crazy thing. I've seen all these great, very successful people lately who talk about that being part of their normal routine, is that they take really cold showers, and they talk about the science behind it. I hate cold water. I mean, I hate cold water. Like, I will not jump into a swimming pool that's cold. But yet, over the last couple of months, I've incorporated that into my normal routine. I take really cold showers, and I'm a guy who used to like see how hot you could go, you know, and stay in there. And just that little thing, push myself out of my comfort zone in that one area and reminding myself that I'm willing to do that. Those are the things that make a difference. And so if you're kind of struggling to hit your goals and your targets, and whatever they may be, whether it's physical health, whether it's financial well-being or job or relational stuff that you're working on, you know, maybe it's that you're trying to stay too deep in your own comfort zone and you're not pushing yourself another way. So find some little things you can do just to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Get used to it. Now, part of what happens is when you push yourself out of your comfort zone gets bigger after you do it for a while. So you have to find new ways to do that. So if it's for you, or as a parent, if you're looking at your kids and you're just thinking, hey, how can I make their life easier? You know, that's not necessarily the right goal either. You know, what we want to do is be resilient, able to adapt, able to learn, and to incorporate those things into being resilient and successful.